Great to you guys all again. So, Wendell wants to jump on live, and we're going to talk about reasons to marry. So, welcome back, Wendell. Hey, this is going to be amazing. Look, for all of you guys that missed us before or missed me before, I want to wish you guys a great day. I got kicked off the live unexpectedly before. All right. So that's why it finished the way that it did for all of those who did actually listen to the end. All right. But Wendell's about to jump on. So let's get him on here. Great morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a
Yeah, it's been a
while.
while.
Welcome back.
Mm. Yep, it's been a long freaking time.
Hey, I like the specs, bro. Pretty hot.
Thank thank you, thank you.
Really, really cool. Hey, I'm really grateful that you're back live.
Yes, thank you, thank you. It was
So, how has it been?
well, it's been busy. I mean, I've been working 12s for what, 19 days straight. So it was good. I mean, I made some good money, right? So I was able to put some money away and figure out some things, and now I have a little
Exactly
break.
what you were asking the universe for.
Exactly, exactly.
There you go. Perfect. So, you're quite grateful for it.
Oh yeah, extremely grateful. Extremely
Good,
grateful. Yeah.
good, good. I'm happy to see you back. All right. So, you wanted to talk about reasons to marry.
Yeah, I think that because the thing too is like, you know, my youngest, she I went over there for Thanksgiving, and it was kind of funny because she was with this new guy, you know, and she was in a relationship before, and well, her first relationship was a heartbreak, so now she's kind of going into this new relationship with a little bit more wisdom and experience and that sort of thing. So now I think she's got it, and then her sister, which is from another relationship. She's not my daughter, but she's her sister. Um, she was married, and now she's working. She's going through a divorce, and she's already like with somebody else, right? So I'm sitting at the table on Thanksgiving, and I'm looking at the two dynamics here, and I'm like, I should probably do a video about this, because I think people need to understand. I think a lot of people actually, I don't think a lot of people understand, and that's what it is that they get married for the wrong reasons, right? So some people kind of get it, they get the fact that, when you're marrying somebody, that you marry somebody for who they are and not for who you want to change them into, I guess. And then you have the ones that, you know, they marry out of convenience, because the person kind of has what they need for the moment, and they just kind of ride it out until they get their benefits, and then once they're where they need to be, then they kind of peace out. So,
Okay. Can I ask you something then? So we'll get the topic. I want to shed some light. What are some of the wrong reasons?
well, and this is what I'm trying. This is what I wanted to discuss. So, I think it's not necessarily a wrong reason. I think it's more so a misconception than anything. So, let's say, somebody has an expectation of somebody, and they think that as long as they're with this person, that expectation is going to be met. They need to understand that, you know, people can change, but they have to decide that they want to change, right? Or that they need that change. Like nobody's going to just change because somebody tells them to, right?
That's not how it
So,
works. That's how it can't work like that.
right. But I'm saying some
Yeah,
people
yeah,
do have perception
for
that they
sure.
think that they could do that, right?
Hmm.
So, like me personally, I mean, everybody is asking me, they're like, oh, you're 50 years, you're 50. 21 years old. How come you're not married yet? And I'm just like, I see people getting married for the wrong reason. And also, if I'm going to marry somebody, I don't want to marry somebody to be divorced a month or two or a year or 3 years or 5 years after, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, you know, you can easily meet that person and then it could be the bells and roses like for the rest of your life, right? You know, people don't get that marriage is a lot of work. You know, there's a lot of work and effort, and when I say work, I don't mean work as in oh, you know, but work as like you have to work at it, right? Like you have to accept this person um as who they are. You know, they're gonna do some things that, you know, maybe you don't agree with, but at the same token, you don't really have to make a big deal about it because of the facts, right? Or because of, you know, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it's like we all have expectations. I get that. You know, some people have realistic expectations. Some people have, you know, fantasy expectations. You know, like they live their life based on, you know, a movie they see or a book they read or stories that they hear from other people. They think that, oh well, I can live my life like that or be in a marriage like that, but it doesn't work that way. A marriage is it's day by day and it's natural or it should be natural, right? So what I'm saying is I think that people need to take a little bit more time when they say, oh, well, you know, I want to marry somebody. You don't want to marry somebody just because, you know, oh, he's attractive and he makes good money and he dresses well and he treats you well and he has a nice house and he's stable and he's this and that. Like all these things, all these tangibles that people are looking at to base a marriage on, they need to assess that a little bit more, is what I'm trying to say.
But highlight some of those things for them.
What was that?
Highlight some of those things. Like be specific about, you know, because you say some of the things. So break that down for people because we, you know, we sit here. I understand what you mean,
Mm-hmm.
but just break it down when we say some of those things. Be a little bit more specific. Like that's what I mean about, okay, what are some of the bad, look, I'll give you an example to it. People are, depends how, where they're governing their life from before they can decide on whether they're going to share it with anybody, especially in marriage. I know why I've personally stayed away from marriage in my life. Actually, I did get married once, but it wasn't for love. So, anyway, circumstance and situations. Like you mentioned before, there are many different reasons that people do things. So, one of the reasons is for their own safety. Another reason is for their own security. Another reason is for financial reasons. Another would be because, hey, people feel that that other person completes them or makes them whole because they can't find that within themselves. Um, so I see you as somebody who maybe, like, you know, if people are looking at you like, why aren't you married? Well, because you're a whole being in your being and you're looking for somebody to share your life with, whereas you're not needing somebody because you're a needy individual needing somebody to fill a slot in your life.
Right. Right. But also too, it's like, you know, like even with the like with the dating scene too, right? So, you know, I meet somebody and then, you know, they ask me to tell them a little bit about myself. So I explain a little bit about myself. And then they're like, well, you sound like such a good guy. Why aren't you married? Kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's like they're basing the fact that they should be married or I should be married because of my qualities and traits and so forth, right? I can have control over my qualities and my traits because I made me, right? Like I the reason why I'm the person that I am today is because I made me. Like nobody made me. So some people may have affected my decision to change certain things about myself, but I made me. So if I know what I want or I know what I expect in a person, then I'm not going to accept anything less than that. Or based on my experience, I know who the jokers are, if you will. there are some people that play a role to just get what they want. And when they get what they want, all of a sudden the real side comes out and it's like a total different person, right?
Oh, for sure.
So like, I've been through that quite a bit, and I don't want to go through that again. So with that being said, I've taken that as my own, um how can I say this, my own like report card, so to speak, so that I know moving forward I can see the signs and be, oh, okay, this person, I know for sure this person's not happening because she did the same thing. I've been through this before. I can see the pattern, and you can catch it right before. Whereas some people aren't able to do that because they're just lost in the whole love thing, right? So I'm saying all this to kind of get to the point that, you know, I think that the main reason why most marriages don't really become successful is because at some point there's a dependence on the other, right? And then, and some of it is circumstantial, like you said earlier. Like, yeah, some of it is circumstantial. I mean, you go with somebody, and this person is successful, and they tell you, oh, don't worry about anything, I'll take care of you. So you ride the coattails. They're taking care of you, they're treating you nice, they're showing you that they love them, and then all of a sudden they become sick. Now they can't work anymore. Now you're struggling, and now you just want out, right? So I think people need to focus more on the actual internal uh, business, if you will, of getting married, because there's a lot of inside things that people don't really look at. You know, it's like the ability to communicate. The ability to resolve an issue. Some people think that, oh, we have an argument. I'm just gonna go and take a walk, and then they come back, and it's like they think that avoiding the the conclusion of clearing it up is a resolution to that issue, which in fact it's not, right? Because the issue will still be there. Nobody's answering a question that you may have. Nobody's like making an effort to change whatever problems or issues that cause that issue. So it's just an ongoing thing. And then at some point, we're human beings. We blow a gasket. We say things that we don't mean. And when it gets to that point, depending on how that person is, they could be ultra sensitive, or they can just be ignorant. And, it can come out. And then this is how the storm happens. And like, F you, take your shite and get out. And then that's how some marriages end bitter because of that little transaction of negative energy, right? You get what I'm saying or no?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
Hey, yo, look who's joining us. Yo, bro. Happy to see you out here. Big up, big up. Vince is out here. It's
okay.
90% of marriage
Then
ends in divorce. What's the point? You know what?
that's a good
You're
point.
very right. And the problem with, let me touch base on that if you don't mind for a moment, Wendell. Do you mind if I roll with that a sec?
Yeah, for a sec, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that for a sec. Well, would you like to take the floor on it first?
Well, I would like to actually, because this is
Go
this is
for it.
what I'm trying because this is what I'm trying to get at. So, you know, a lot people think
Yeah,
that
yeah. Sorry, I
it's
just
okay.
responded to his comment.
A lot of people think that divorce is a solution to marriage. That's what it is. So they're having an issue, and rather than resolving that issue with that person, it's easier for them to just get divorced, right? Because now they're just be like, okay, you know what? I don't want to deal with this person anymore. I'm just going to divorce them. And now I'm going to go into another relationship, and the person's going to be different. So I don't have to worry about that. But when you start to see the pattern, because not a lot of people are going to admit that there's a pattern, because they don't want to say, oh, this is happening a little too often. Maybe I'm choosing the wrong guys. No, maybe it's you, right? Like, there was times where I was in a I was in like relationships in a series, and I noticed the same thing happening over and over and over and over, and I'm like, why is the same thing happening? Maybe it's the person. Maybe I'm just attracted to damaged people. But when I looked internally, it was like, okay, so there was a common denominator through everything,
Okay,
So,
I have to interject here, but he's saying if 90% of marriage ends in divorce, what's the point? So he's asking you, what's the point of getting married?
so the point of getting married is it has to be a commitment, right? So what I'm trying to say is that people misconstrue what a commitment is. And I think I've talked about this before. So when you are committed to somebody, you can't cheat on them because you're committed to them. Some people think that when they're committed to somebody, that they still have that, oh, well, I'm in, but, I still have my freedom. It's like, no, when you're committed with somebody, it's 100%.
But when you're committed to that person, you're not even looking elsewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Right. That's what I
Okay,
just said.
he's asking you, are you married or have you ever been married?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the chats up here because I usually hide it because I can't really see what's going on here, but
Our only commitment is the God.
is to God, correct? Amen
Yeah.
to that. Okay, so to answer Vincent's question, so no, I've never been married. And like I was saying earlier, the reason why I've never been married is because if I had that feeling to be with that person, then I take it up a notch. So I'm like, okay, so now we're evolving from a relationship to now a commitment. So now as I get into the commitment, now I'm looking at it in a different angle now. So now I'm looking at this person to say, okay, well, can I actually spend the rest of my life with this person? So I'm looking at the way they talk to me, the way they treat me, the way they give me affection, the way they react to certain things, the way they resolve issues, the way they communicate, the way they treat my friends, the way they accept what I do as work or whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of things that I look at before I go into somebody, right? Like in a commitment. And then once I've gotten into that commitment and I see that, there's a steady flow of the pattern and, oh, okay, this is good. I'm not saying to not argue because we are going to argue. Everybody argues, right? The question is how to resolve that issue. So if I get an issue and I'm like, hey, I don't like the way that this is going, and we say, okay, let's sit down and talk about it. And we sit down and we talk about it, as opposed to, hey, I don't like the way this is going. And they're like, well, F you, that's just the way that I am. You're going to have to deal with it, whether you like it or not. Then I'm like, okay, now I know for sure that this person is not capable of having a commitment with me. So I cut it. And that's why I've never been married. So to answer Vince's question, that's pretty much what the answer is, right?
Have you ever been close to wanting to be married?
Okay, so
Oh,
think,
hold on. He says, women come, women go. We don't own people, and I've been in a loving relationship for 10 plus years.
well, God bless you, Vincent. You're a lucky guy.
And I love the both of you. You guys are awesome. And your seedlings are awesome too.
So yeah, but you
Uh,
see, thing too is that when you have the women come women go mentality, now it's no longer just a commitment thing. Now it's almost like, I don't want to say you're playing a game, but it's like, you're, I don't know how to say it. It's like you're
it's
testing the
not.
water.
Hey, Rox, I love you. I'm happy to see you out here. Look, it's not lucky. I love you. It's the law of attraction. Yes, I love you. Roxanne, I'm happy to see you out here. Hey, Wendell, oh, we got a lot of people on our platform that are out here this morning.
That's
Yes,
good.
yes, yes.
So
This is a whammy. Yes, I'm happy. Hey, Guy, great morning.
mhm.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Top of the morning to all of you guys. Okay, that's awesome.
good
Hey,
morning.
Rock, that's amazing. Vince, I'm happy you guys are out here. Look at that. 4 of the 5 on our platform at You Matter the Most are currently right here live online with you guys. Okay, this is
Good.
amazing. This is the first time it's happened, and it's a great accomplishment. So, guys, from all of us, we love you all. And look, we're all out here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's yes. Okay, listen, Rox, you're right. And it's about being what we are and what we are attracting, but what are the reasons why you want to commit to somebody have to be the right reasons.
Yeah, because again, like, a lot of people like say, oh, well, I'm not gonna ever get an attractive person like this, so they end up marrying them, right? But then what happens is they go on a trip or they go somewhere and then they just see somebody else that's more attractive than their husband, and all of a sudden it's like that commitment disappears. All of a sudden there's an infatuation, and then there's
Okay,
attraction.
okay, but look, when we talk about stuff like that, we're talking from people that have not healed or done self-work. Okay? When you find two people that are whole individuals and they decide to share their life together, well, then you either grow together or you grow apart. And there are a lot of, look, maybe hasn't been for me, hasn't been for you, hasn't been for Vince, like, okay? But there are some people that are ready for that in their lives, but they have to be coming from a right state of being and a state of mind in order to make that commitment to somebody else.
Well, commitment is a huge thing, right? So
That is so that is so much details. Aligning with the universe takes care of 3D details, which are just illusions. Yes. And it's only an extension of our own perception. I love where this is going. Wendell.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, because I totally agree. Because look, I can speak for it from a stance in my life right now. After understanding the unconditional love that fuels my existence here on this planet, and really making the conscious choices and being mindful in my life about what I need and being unconditionally loving to myself has attracted unconditional love into my life. And marriage, we don't need the certificate or the ring because he and I both feel and consider that we are committed to each other for the rest of our lives without the marriage. We've spoken about marriage, but we're on the same page when it comes to that. A
Well, you
piece of
have to.
paper in marriage is not going to change the unconditional love that we have for each other. And
Mm-hmm.
because I've aligned to that within my own being and I've tried to make the conscious choices of being a better being every day, well, that's what I've attracted into my life as my partner also.
Hey,
And
Jennifer.
so it's bigger than marriage once you've realigned.
Mm-hmm.
It's once you're in a state of unconditional love for yourself and for, well, basically yourself primarily, it does bring that into your life, but you have to be in that state in order to gravitate that to you also. Oh, although I can't see some of these comments, I got to go back. Okay, let's Rox says, we're fooled into thinking about all that other stuff. It's true. Self-awareness and living our truth is enough. That is very true. Love is
Mm-hmm.
unconditional. That's right. It's true. Love 1 + 1 = 3. Yes. Marriage is simple for legal documents. You can be, Jennifer says, marriage is simply for legal documents. You can be in a committed, loving relationship without the paperwork. Yes, that's true because that's what I'm in right now, honestly. And we have overcome many obstacles to be okay. And but it was because I was not aligned fully, Guy,
It's funny.
100%. Sorry, there's just one more comment. Roxanne says, once we are what we want to spend the rest of our life, the work is done. That's right. Within your own being. Uh-huh. Vince says marriage is a union under God. So who are you really committed to? God is love and love conquers all, bro. Guy says 12 years with the wifey, no papers needed. I love you all. The interaction's super blessed. Thank you. Wendell, go for it. Run with all of that.
So yeah, I mean, like even like what Jennifer said earlier. So it's like I
Oh,
I I know.
Rox wants to join us. Rox
uh,
wants to join us. Join us, girl. How do I do that? How do I add her in?
think you add her the same way that you add me.
You know what? I love you guys. Hey, send a request. Ask to join the live, Roxanne. I'll throw you right on with us. Because I don't know how to do it. I'm on my phone.
Phone too.
But send the request. The request is there. Okay. I don't see it. Get in, Roxanne. Yes, I'm trying to get her in right now. But I don't know how to do it. And it's not it's not allowing me to do it. You know what? Let me see if I can get on the computer and do it. Because hey, listen, that would be awesome. That will be awesome. Guys, just give me a minute to see how this goes. You know what? Wendell, I've been trying to accept, but on my phone, it won't allow me to. So now I'm going onto the computer to see if I can manipulate it grab her into the live. Okay?
Yeah.
So right now, let's, you know what? I am so happy she's here. Okay. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, this is hot. I just want to get Roxanne here with us, but I can't get into, let's go into the studio here, Creator Studio.
Yeah, I would think you would have to do it the same way that you do it. You bring me on, and then there should be another.
Yeah, but that's the thing on my phone. I think I can only bring on one person at a time. So I am going to try right now to bring her on because I am okay, you see? So I am going to try right now to bring her on because you see I can hear it in the background here. Okay, you see? So I am going to try right now to bring her on because okay, it's not allowing me. It's not allowing me. Okay, Rox, listen, Wendell, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Speak on this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you off, hop Roxanne on, let her have her speech, and then bring you back on as soon as she's done.
Hey, you can bring her on right now. Yeah, bring her on right now if you want.
Eh?
Say you could bring her on right now if you want.
Okay, so I'm going to remove you. Listen, Rox, I'm going to accept you on. Okay, Wendell, I'm going to hop you back on after.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Rox, now you're going to hop on. Send me that request again because now I've taken Wendell off. Now I'll be able to accept your invite. So send it up again. Send it again and I'll bring you on, girl. This is amazing. I am so thrilled that all of you guys are out here this morning. That's amazing. I'm not seeing the invite though. It's been sent. Okay, so let's get this. We gotcha. Hard work pays off. Listen, it really does. It really does. And you know what, Rox, I'm not seeing, you know what, I'm going to cancel the live and I'm going to go back live and invite you on because it's not coming through. So I really hope that all of you that are out here right now are going to join us back. because Roxanne's going to jump on board. Okay? Rolling my breath. Okay, guys, but join us back because I'm going to cancel this live, like I said, light up again live and invite Roxanne on. This is amazing. I'm grateful. Love you all. Peace.